recognition of achievements attained as a leader of immense repute and his significant contribution beyond the call of duty in numerous rescue, relief, and military operations. By inculcating the skills learned in his school days, motivating his subordinates and colleagues in the armed forces to reach unparalleled levels of excellence, this congregation of alumni is privileged to bestow an honor of highest merit to Air Marshal Srk Nair, AVSM, VM, MND, Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Training Command of the Indian Air Force, for henceforth leading generations of loyalites as a venerated icon in the years to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, Air Marshal Srk Nair. Next, a few words by Air Marshal Srk Nair.
What we've been waiting for the whole evening.
Exactly, the
Gayatri.
moment, the moment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My special greetings to the distinguished people on the dais, members of LOBA, respected teachers, non-teaching staff of this institution, and colleagues. I'm indeed humbled by a recognition of this sort by my alma mater. This has been possible only because of the strong foundation that was laid during my impressionable years when I was in school. I indeed thank my teachers, the school, my colleagues for being with me and having helped me in some way or the other to have reached thus far. I spoke to the LOBA members who were the helm of affairs and asked, what should I speak about? So they said, being a leadership award, please say a few words on leadership in the military. Without taking much time, I will cover a few aspects of military leadership and thereafter go on to LOBA as an organization, and I promise to keep it very short. The armed forces is a very organized sector. It is one of the oldest organizations that exists in any part of the world. It is so because of a necessity. And what is the necessity? The independence of your country, the safety of your country, and the safety of your men below you, the citizens. Therefore, it became imperative that the military be strong. And for the military to be strong, it is always essential to have a proper organization chart, good HR, good supply chain management, good leaders. So, what the military leaders are today is what they imbibed from their seniors who were worthy of emulation. And also, what is taught to you over the years when you join the training academy, you progress in life, when you're given in-service courses, small booster doses of how to be a leader. So a military leader is one who's taught to lead an organization, maybe a small group of men, under extremely difficult circumstances. Being a military leader is tough. Let me explain to you why is it tough. You have to lead a small unit into a situation with danger lurking. At times, the danger is imminent. Many times, death is imminent. And yet, you have to lead your men into certain death. If this you need to do, you need to have the complete confidence and the faith of your subordinates, which is very, very difficult and is a tough job. But we have hundreds of examples of military leaders who have been able to lead their men into certain death and sacrifice their life. This is possible only with certain ethos that is built up over the generations. I will quote what Field Marshal Chetwood said when the Indian Military Academy was established. And It is inscribed in the oak panel in the Indian Military Academy, where I will be on the 21st of this month for a function. I quote, "The safety, honor, and welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The honor, welfare, and comfort of your men you command comes next. Your own ease, comfort, safety comes last, always and every time," unquote. This principles, if you follow as a military leader, you will have success. Those placed below you will have immense faith, and when you walk into the battle, when you look left and right, they will be with you. But if you falter or if you fail in your basic principles, then you will find you are leading alone. There's no team with you. So this is something very unique about the military leadership. And let me also tell you how military leadership is different. I do see some faces from the military here, but I'll quickly touch upon a few basic things which I jotted down. One is, a military leader is expected to thrive in a chaotic situation, because generally you're flung into a situation which is absolutely chaotic. And there you have to find a method to the madness that exists. The second is, we have many corporate leaders here. I've read the name of few. Very, very impressive. We have civil servants at the highest echelon of the government of India. We have corporate people. So how do you assess? How have you done? You have a profit and a loss column. At the end of an operation, you account with the profit you made. And that is what takes you further up. In the military, at the end of an operation, you account for lives. How many did you bring back? This is an essential difference which I thought I must impress upon you all. The next is, there are no material incentives. All that you have is a sense of achievement when you finish your operations. I will quote a very small example to you. We have an airfield called Leh and yet another called Thois, which many of you do not know. They're in the Himalayas and they're situated about 11,000 feet of elevation. Civil aircraft operate to Leh. For every landing, about 10 years back, the pilot used to get 5,000 rupees for every landing. He's rewarded. He's recognized. We land there by night. We get no material incentive. We get satisfaction and a sense of achievement. We do that to cater for pulling out the injured in case a war breaks out. You know, it's a very, very hot spot in our country today. The next I want to tell you is about the military leader always leading from the front. I will tell you two very small examples once again. The AN-32, we decided, can land in Daulat Beg Oldi. You saw some of the clips. When the AN-32 was to land, I was then commanding an Air Force station, and I was asked by the Commander-in-Chief, "Are you certain it's going to be safe?" There were caveats. If the aircraft goes unserviceable, there's no retrieving. But then, that is calculated risk. I told him, "Sir, I am confident." Do you know what my Commander-in-Chief told me? "If you are confident, I will be on board as a passenger. I have faith in you, and I will lead this mission." So that is a subtle difference between how we function as a leader in the civil and we function as a leader in the military. So also when the C-130 was to land, you saw a clipping. I was then an Air Vice Marshal, and I briefed the Chief of the Air Staff how it can be done. He asked me, "Are you confident?" I said, "Yes." Then he told me, "You please be on board yourself and take your boss along." And that was what we say, leading from the front. Coming to the last point I want to cover with you all is about the Loba. This morning, when one of the young minds asked me a question, I replied to him, he asked me about failure. Have you faced failure? I told him my first failure was when I joined the National Defense Academy. I had no friends but one who was in Loyola and then moved on to Sainik School. The point I'm trying to get to is, when I went to Loyola, I knew nobody. There was no Loyolite in NDA. But my friends around me who joined had many of their, what we call the school types. So they had them to guide. They were the mentors, they were the guides, they were the help. They gave them food. I had none. I come to the point of networking. I am talking of 1976 when I joined NDA, and in 2016, I feel extremely proud to say the LOBA networking has been so strong. The LOBA network has grown from strength to strength. And anywhere in the world you go, you know there is somebody from LOBA who is present there. This gives a tremendous sense of satisfaction to me because I have experienced the lack of networking when I joined. And I keep urging my friends, networking is very, very important. We thank the iconic figures like Jimmy Anthony, who initiated LOBA. And in particular, I would like to thank my batchmates of 1974, who gave a fillip to the LOBA. Many of them are past presidents. They're all present here. They took a lot of interest. I remember Pradeep Kumar in particular, who brought in the LOBA directory, the first book on LOBA directory, who is where, the details of people, including the contact numbers. Very, very difficult job those days with no internet and so on. So a special thanks to my batch for having given LOBA a fillip at that time. And to the present LOBA members, true leaders, who have actually taken a lot of effort to start initiatives like what was covered today, the Loyola Wellness Initiative, the pension scheme. It's amazing that you all have got this kind of organizing ability. I congratulate the present and the past LOBA members. Lastly, before I leave, I call upon one of my batchmates of 1974 to please come onto the stage. I would like, Pradeep Kumar, if you could please come up. I would like to present a small amount to the LOBA for the wonderful initiative they have taken, for the yeoman service to the school, to the teachers, to the non-teaching staff. I do this with immense pride. Thank you. Jai Hind.